Hello and welcome back, everybody. So over the last few days, the few weeks, we've introduced quite a lot of different things. This idea of stability, agility, grounding, positivity, sense of self, inner core, our defending and our protecting ourselves, and our ability to attack and push away from things that are no longer serving us. And I've started to throw quite a lot of stuff at you as well in terms of movement. We did quite a few flows, and we've got some future themes coming up as well. We've got this animalistic idea, and we've got these mantras that we're going to be making around the sun to help with our flows. And before we kind of get into all of that, I wanted to recap some of the stuff that we have done, some of the flows that are quite challenging. They can be quite difficult, they can be quite tricky, but really looking at these again as we start to build them up so that they're becoming more and more solid and more flowing as we're coming towards the 3-week marker. So we've got about a week to really ingrain this in our body and to allow whatever comes up for us come up, whatever theme this may be, however sensation, whatever feeling we're getting, and linking this back to this grounding, the stability and agility. And we're going to take that positive idea that we started looking at yesterday and bringing that into this session. So, as we'd guess, we're coming back to our mat, standing up, feet and hips facing forward, nice little bend in the knees. We start to warm up the body. We might be imagining that shape of our core as we did yesterday, allowing it to feel our length as we come up from our feet all the way up to the top of our head. We're standing strong, we're feeling strong. We're shaking out what doesn't serve us, what we need to let go, as we know that this mini yoga session is a time for just us and not worrying about the outside. We're already actively pushing away against what doesn't serve us. Allow yourself to feel liberated by releasing. Shake as much or as little as feels right for you right now, knowing that there is no judgment. And bring that shake to in front of you, shoulder height above. And this time, you're touching towards your chest, towards your heart, and you're allowing this to span out. But as much as we may be pushing away negativity, we can also push out positivity towards the world, to other people, because we are in abundance, because we have our core shape. Allow that shape to calm down, however it feels right for you. And we're going to come back to those swings again that we were doing, lifting up to shoulder height on the right and left hand side. Allowing the body to open, the back to twist, really feeling that back arm. Trust yourself to really drop in between as we bend, dropping the arms, trusting that your arms are guiding them up to being held. You may want to lift them slightly higher now to help get that sensation of dropping. We're keeping our knees and our feet facing forward, and we're twisting our body as much as we can, looking left and right as we now bring our arms across our body to continue that twist even further if this is possible. We're noticing our journey of our arms as we may slow down the swing, as we move our head from left to right, we notice everything in front of us, allowing our eyes to scan the room and find our surroundings. And when that comes to a gentle stop, we're just going to start by lifting up the heels again with the right foot and then the left, treading in place. We're feeling the stability of our core. It's staying strong where it is. We're feeling that shape. We're feeling cemented where we are. Feeling grounded against the earth. We feel ourselves pushing away as we find the length. You may want to move your hands in this direction as well, as we feel like we're gliding on top of water, that we're standing against the thing that we didn't think we'd be able to. just going to relax, shake out the legs, shake out the arms. As So we set our intention for the class today. So just come, feet facing forward, hands in a prayer position, actively pushing against the fingers, and think of something you want to gain in today's class. Think in this class is isolated from the rest of the world and it's just time with yourself. What gift do you want to give yourself today in this class? As this class focuses on going with the flow, moving through whatever we need to, but we keep this gift and we find it however the path may change. We trust it is there in abundance. So we're going to start with our first flow, which we're going to recap again slowly. Then exhale, we're twisting our body to the right, bringing the arms up. The fingers are outstretched, we're reaching out to the outer world, but we're still feeling our core. With an exhale again, we're bending, we're shifting the weight to the right hand side and bring it up the left knee. We can either keep it in line or cross the left knee in front of the right hip. My right hand is holding onto my left leg. And if I want to increase, my left arm is reaching out towards the left hand side. On the next exhale, my knees are coming together, my hips are facing forward, and I'm holding my left foot with my left hand. With the next exhale, I'm actively pushing my hand into my foot. I'm outstretching that right arm and allowing my body to lift up wherever feels natural. Again, knowing we're not working on flexibility, but just getting the flow. With the next exhale, I'm trying to keep my balance, knowing it's okay if I do have a wobble. My left leg is kicking forward, and my left foot is coming around the calf, the back of my right foot. I can rest the foot on the floor, or if I really want to challenge myself, I can keep it up. I come into my variation of this chair pose by moving as if I'm sitting down, wrapping that foot if possible, or keeping it on the floor. I'm keeping that shape of my core. Imagine it zipped up. I'm engaged to keep my balance. And on the next exhale, I'm straightening that right leg, bringing that left leg above the right angle into tree position. And exhale, coming down. The way it looks on the other side again is with an exhale, we're lifting up to the left hand side. The next exhale, I'm dropping my weight, shifting my weight into my left hand side. My right knee is coming in front of my left hip. My right hand is opening up to the right hand side. On the next exhale, my hips and shoulders are facing forward. My knees are dropping together and I'm taking the foot in my hand. The next exhale, if I'm wishing, I'm outstretching my left hand. My right foot is pushing against my right hand, and I'm opening up. Again, knowing I'm not coming up to my maximum, but I'm just staying. I'm in the motion, I'm in the flow. Ooh. And we're keeping a fixed point. And then exhale, you're outstretching that right leg. You're wrapping it around, so if your toes want to touch on the outer of your left ankle. We're coming down into our chair pose. If we're wanting to twist that leg around, we can. Keeping the length, the engagement, and the core is being brought in. And on your next exhale, you're straightening that left leg, putting the right leg just above the right ankle in tree pose. Exhale, find a neutral. So we're going to do this flow in our own breath, trusting that you know the sequence and knowing if you forget a bit, it's completely okay. No one's here, no one's judging you. You're going to go with the flow. Maybe recap a move. Say I get stuck here and I've forgotten what's next. I can finish, or I can stay here, go to the previous move, or whatever move I remember. So we're going to do this in our own time, in our own breath, remembering that with every exhale is when we move into the next pose. And I'm not going to set whether we do 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these, but we're just going to have a set amount of time to go at your own flow. By all means, you can follow along with me, and I'm going to be doing 2 breaths in each pose, with the second exhale moving on to the next. By all means, go slightly slower if you need, or do go faster. This is your time and your flow. So we're going to begin in our own time, and when I'm talking through, I'm going to be talking through ideas and images. So take your first inhale, remembering with every exhale is when you move to the next pose, the next asana. And as I'm doing this, I'm focusing on finding the length in my body, feeling grounded and stable and supported. I'm noticing the shape in my core. I'm allowing myself to wobble. I'm allowing myself to be how I am. I'm not forming any judgment, but I'm allowing things to be as they are, knowing that if I do wobble, I need to fix my gaze and notice something in front of me. I don't take anything to heart, but I'm going with the flow. I'm finding the length in my body as I'm really allowing each limb to reach out towards the world. I'm noticing the contact that I have with myself. I'm noticing the areas of touch with myself and with the ground. I'm finding comfort and strength in these. I'm feeling safe and secure. I know that I'm in a judgment-free space. I'm holding my shoulders up, my chin is up, my shoulders are moving down. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. I'm finding more and more flow. And each time I do this, it's becoming a little easier. I know it's okay if I need to add or ask for added support. I know that this is not a reflection on myself, that everyone needs support at times, and I am strong enough in myself and my core ability to give myself the support I may need without any judgment. I'm noticing my breath and the calmness it brings as I flow through the poses. Feeling lengthened, light, and grounded. And wherever you are, come to the end of your flow and meet me again at the top of the mat. While we're waiting, our hands are in prayer position, pushing into each other and noticing our natural breath and sensation in the body. Stay here for 2 more natural breaths, knowing you do not need to change anything. Second flow we're going to look at is the flow between the warriors. So coming from the top of the mat, my feet are facing forward, hip width apart. I'm putting the weight into my left leg and allowing the right leg to come down so my front knee is over toe. The back leg is staying lengthened as I'm twisting my body to 3 o'clock. So my front leg, the knee is staying over toe, and I may need to move in or out to ensure that that is kept. And I'm staying at 12 o'clock. My right foot is staying at 3, my hips are staying at 3, my shoulders are staying at 3, and my gaze. My arms are coming up to the side, and I'm feeling the groundedness here. On the next exhale, I'm straightening that left leg, turning my palms towards the 3 o'clock, allowing my body to tilt sideways, resting the hand on the outer of the left leg, not on the knee, but either above or below. My right arm is directly above my right shoulder, and my shoulders are in line as if they're touching a brick wall evenly. On the next exhale, I'm straightening that front leg, allowing my body to tip back up into this warrior 2 position. The next exhale, I'm bringing that right arm towards the front, keeping the hips and the legs where they are, but working at facing the hips towards the front, keeping that front knee bent. This can be a bit of a sticky pose on the knee, so if you do need, we're going to twist that back foot front facing forward. Then everyone's going to come to this position, shifting the weight towards the front knee, allowing that back leg to lift up, tipping your body as if you're a T. You can bend that supporting leg and hold the thigh above the knee. My gaze is looking directly down, and I'm feeling the pull between my head and my toes. To come out, I'm bending that front leg again, allowing my toes to face forward. Exhaling again, opening my body into this warrior two, my back foot facing 3 o'clock. Exhale, straightening that front leg and twist into 3. Noting the natural breath and wiggling the feet in again as we finish one side of the flow. Same on the other side again, I'm hip width apart, feet and knees facing forward, shifting the weight into my right leg. I'm bringing that left leg back into a lunge, my knee is still over the toe, I'm feeling lifted, zipped up, and the core shape that I have. I'm keeping my front leg where it is at 12 o'clock, but I'm opening my back, my body, my back foot to 9 o'clock. I'm feeling all 4 edges of the feet, my arms are coming up at shoulder height. With an exhale, I'm straightening that front leg, twisting my hands towards 9 o'clock, allowing my body to tilt slightly, allowing the hand to rest on the outer of the thigh, above or below the knee. My left hand is directly above my left shoulder, and my shoulders are stacked as if there is a wall behind it, and they're nice and flat. With an exhale, I'm bending that front knee, twisting my body up again into my warrior two. With the next exhale, I'm taking that left arm, allowing it to meet my body at 12 o'clock, keeping the foot where it is if comfortable, if not, twisting that foot round again. Then everyone's going to come here. The next exhale, I'm shifting my weight forward, allowing that back foot to drag, allowing my body to tilt forward, bending my knee and putting some balance just above the knee. Finding my gaze, my drishti just below me. Finding the length between the toe and the head. With an exhale, coming down again, toes facing forward, coming back to an upright position, feeling the stretch in my back hip. Exhale, twisting again to 9 o'clock, keeping that right leg at 12. Exhale, straightening that front leg, twisting the foot forward, and wiggling back in. Just like we did with the last flow, we're going to do this again in our own time, without any judgment, just being what's being as I speak through some general ideas. Again, more than 3 to follow along with me, or do go in your own time. So we're going to begin by moving the right leg back. Still finding length in my body. I'm feeling strong and I'm feeling grounded. I'm feeling free and light, and I'm taking the energy from the last flow into here. I'm noticing the journey of every move, finding the lightness in it and the flow. I'm knowing it's okay to be challenged and to have a wobble, and that is part of flow. I'm feeling calm, even amidst something that may be difficult, hard, or scary. I'm noticing my natural breath. And I'm allowing this to plant me into this present moment, not thinking about the pose before or the pose after, but just thinking about where I am right now. I'm keeping my body and my head lifted up towards the ceiling. So I'm feeling strong and proud of where I am, how I'm dealing with changing environments. I'm trusting my body is doing what is best for me. And I'm developing every single breath. and being okay with things being different, not being perfect or going according to plan. Knowing this may not always happen, but I have the strength, stability, and agility to deal with this. I am confident in my own self, and I remind myself this as I lift my body up towards the sky, being a direct pole of energy between my head and my feet, the sky and the earth. I'm feeling the air move around me. I'm taking pride in my practice right now. Pride in my body to straighten and lengthen whatever I can, make the most of the situation that I'm in. I'm feeling calm and grounded, and that can be seen with my drishti, my gaze. I know for every pose and every situation I am in, that I have a goal, something that I'm fixed looking at. And it's okay if this changes. But I know that my goal for that one moment is something that serves me in the moment. And though it may be my preferred goal, my preferred gaze, I know I'm okay if this changes because it serves me better in that moment. And wherever you are, finishing off that side and that flow. As we come again to the top of the mat, hands coming together, fingers pressing against each other, noticing our natural breath. Allow your shoulders to relax down, your head to lift, and this lightness to continue with you. We're going to focus on these two flows today and the new two flows tomorrow. So we're going to come down towards our mat, coming to our knees. We're coming back again to this inversion, this rabbit position. So I'm bringing my head, the top of my head to the mat, as close to the knees as I can. I'm allowing my hands to hold onto my palms of my feet, the fingers on top of the palm and the thumb underneath at the top of the foot. With an exhale, I'm actively pulling and feeling the engagement between my hands and my feet as I lift my hips up to the ceiling and keep my head planted where it is. I'm allowing my body to relax and still feeling this lightness and this engagement and pull between my hands and my feet. With an exhale, I'm coming out of it, extending my arms and allowing my forehead to relax on the floor in child's pose. And noticing the similarities and differences between these two poses and how they may or may not affect my body and my mind. We're coming again into this rabbit pose, putting the top of the head on the mat as close to your knees as you can, holding onto your feet, and on an exhale, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, feeling the pull between the hands and the feet, and the stability of the head on the ground beneath you. Noticing the engagement in the legs, the shoulders, and I'm noticing how my spine is curving. And then exhale, I'm coming down again, allowing the forehead to rest on the mat and arms outstretched in child's pose, allowing my body to relax here. Noticing any similarities and differences in sensation. We're going to do this again for one final time, coming into rabbit by bringing the top of the head to the mat as close to your knees as you can. Holding onto your hands, and on an exhale, lifting those hips up to the ceiling. Feeling the length of the arms as we're feeling the pull between the hands and the feet and the stability of the head. We're noticing what muscles are engaged, where we're feeling this sensation. And then bringing our attention to the areas of our body that may feel calm. Focusing on this calm sensation. With an exhale again, bringing our hips down, our forehead to the mat and our arms straight out in child's pose. Staying here for 5 natural breaths. Allowing the body to relax, repair itself however it needs, carrying this light feeling that we've been gaining through the flows. With an exhale, allowing my body to roll up, with the head being the last thing. Come into a seated position, cross legs with the left leg closest to us, right foot in front, heels are in line with the middle of our body. Find the length right now. Allowing the shoulders to move down, relaxing the collarbone. Noticing your natural breath here right now as we're moving from lying to sitting. And then exhale, we're tracing round, twisting to the right hand side. Exhale, coming to the middle, finding that growth again. Next exhale, twisting around to our left hand side. Exhale, coming in and finding that growth. From this position, you want to keep your feet as much as you can where they are. Rolling your body forward so that all of my legs, my hips are on the floor. And I'm leaning forward as much as I can, keeping the feet where they are. I'm feeling the openness in the hips, the backs of the legs. I'm feeling supported by the ground, as if I'm going into an inversion. I feel this solid base of my arms, and almost like the backs of my legs are light. That right now I'm present in my upper body, and I'm allowing my lower body to relax. Exhale, you're going to work your way back into the seated position. Finding length before we swap around. Bring the right knee closest to us, the left knee in front, keeping the heels in line with the mid of our body. Finding length, lifting up, allowing your body to relax and adjust to this new switch. And exhale, we're twisting our body around to the left hand side, finding length in our spine. Exhale, come into the middle, finding length again. Fresh starting point. Exhale, moving towards the right hand side, not forcing, just moving where it feels natural. Exhale, coming back and finding length. Releasing any tension that may be in your body. As we now work at bringing the hands forward, shifting the weight up onto our legs, planting our elbows down, our fingers spread, the neck is staying long. I'm keeping the gaze in the middle line between my index fingers, as if this midpoint here is where my gaze is. Finding the length in my back, feeling the support and the stability of my upper body. So I'm aiming to feel calm and relaxed in my lower body as I release all tension. With an exhale, coming back again, taking a moment to refine that length, that lightness. We're going to finish again as we did yesterday, bringing the feet together, the palms facing, finding that length lifted. And with an exhale, bringing that head towards the gap in our feet. Not holding on to our toes, but holding near our ankles. allowing ourselves to relax wherever we are. Breathing into the hips to release any tension, and allowing the back to curve however feels natural. Knowing again, every day is different and we're not forming any judgment. Staying with your natural breath and keeping that light feeling through your breath moving throughout your whole body. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Again, we're not forcing ourselves down, we're just allowing our body to hang wherever it wants to hang today. My hands are not actively pulling my body down because I'm not working towards my flexibility right now. And when we meet the end of the 5 breaths, allowing the spine to roll up with the head being last. Bringing the knees together and giving yourself a hug. Finding the length in the spine again as we carry that lightness and our pride throughout our day. Big exhale through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining again in today's session, and I cannot wait to do the remaining 2 flows with you tomorrow. Thank you.